So chapter 8.4e, example 3, graphing y equals ax minus h squared plus k. K is used to move the graph up or down, and h is used to move the graph left or right. The graph you're going to make is this y equals 2 times x plus 1 squared plus 3. And then the original graph is given as y equals x squared. We can first use the table and plot the table values to make the graph. The x values that we're going to choose is -3, -2, -1, 0, and 1, and plug it into the given function. So the first value is -3. We're going to use that value. And we got here is 2 times -2 squared plus 3. And that is 2 times 4 plus 3, and that is 8 plus 3 and 11. So my first point is -3 comma 11. When I'm going to use x equals -2, I'm going to put that into my given function. 2 times -1 squared plus 3, and that is 2 times 1 plus 3 and is 5. -2 comma 5 is my next point. The next one is 2 times -1 plus 1 squared plus 3. 2 times 0 plus 3 is going to give me 3. Point is -1 comma 3. Next I'm using 0, so 2 times 0 plus 1 squared plus 3, and that's 2 times 1 plus 3 and is 5, 0 comma 5. And you're going to have the last x value, 2 times 1 plus 1 squared plus 3, 2 times 2 squared plus 3, and that is 8 plus 3, and point is 1 comma 11. So the one thing that you notice is this: all the graphs are given without the y-axis and x-axis, because it gives you the chance to make your own y and x-axis so that you can fit these points. So for example, if you have to reach 11, it means that you need to start somewhere from here, and I would make my y-axis first, and then I'm going to make the x-axis. My original graph is y equals x squared, starting from 0, 0 and 1, 1, and that's going to be 2, 4. Whereas my graph, that is this graph right here, 2 times x plus 1 squared plus 3, I'm going to plot these points one by one and get the graph. The first point I have is -3 comma 11. So that is going to be 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this is my point, that is -3 comma 11. 2 comma 5, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this point. -1 comma 3, and 0, 5 and 1, 11. If I join these points, I get the graph. And if you compare the red graph, that is this graph, with the regular graph, you can notice that the red graph is skinny and is taller. Why it is that? If you have 2 in the front, then you have a graph that is a vertical stretch by 2, or it's also called that is going to be a taller graph or skinny. Okay, so this is a skinnier graph and taller graph as compared to our regular graph. The translations, what is the translation? +1 means that move 1 unit left. +3 means 3 unit up. The 2 in the front means vertical stretch or a tall graph from the regular graph. How can we get this graph without making a table? We know that our regular graph has a point 1, 1, 2, 4, and so on. Our graph that we are going to make is going to move 1 unit left and 3 unit up at this point. And starting from this point, we're going to follow the pattern. Okay, first we're going to move this graph 1 unit left and 3 unit up. So this is the point. We're going to start our graph. And from here, you're going to follow the pattern. And this time pattern is going to change because you have a 2 in the front. It means that you're going to multiply the y coordinate by 2. Only the y coordinate by 2. So first coordinate x is same. Y is 1 times 2, that is going to be 2. So my first point is 1 over. So 1 over, so 1 over 1, 2 up. That's my first point. My second point is going to be my 2 over and 4 times 2, that is going to be 8. So my second point is going to go 2 over up 8 because it is a vertical stretch by the factor of 2. The next problem that I'm going to do is I'm not going to make a table, but I'm going to rather use the translation. So first of all, I'm going to make our regular graph, that is your parent graph. And then from the parent graph, I'm going to make our given graph, that is y equals -2, x plus 1 square plus 3. So our regular graph is starting 0, 0, and then it's 1, 1. Then it's going to be 2, 4. And that's our regular graph facing up. Now to do the next graph that I circled in or boxed into red, you're going to move the parent graph into 1 unit left and 3 unit up. So 1 unit left and 3 unit up is this point where we're going to start the graph. So 1 left and 3 up. That's the translation I did. Next is this 2. 2 means that I need to have the vertical translation, vertical stretch by 2. And there is one more thing that in here is a negative sign. So this negative sign means the graph is going to have a reflection over x-axis. Reflection means the graph is going to look like a face down graph. So from this point, first of all, we're going to make it face down. And then we are going to also look at the stretch. So regular points are 1, 1 and 2, 4. So those are the regular one, but we are going to move these regular, this one by 1, 2, and this one should move 2, 8, because you're going to multiply the y coordinate by 2, the y coordinate by 2. So from this point, you're going to go over 1, 2 down because of negative sign. 1 over 2 down, and then you're going to move 2 over and 8 down. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This point, and is reflection this point. It's the same graph that you graphed in the top example. So this is the same graph that you graph here. If you notice that the two equations are also same. It's the same equation as this. It is starting from negative 1, 3, negative 1, 3. It's moved 1 unit over 2 up, 2 over 8 up. Same thing, 1 over 2 down, 2 over 8 down, 1, 2, 2, 8. Only the difference is that this one facing up and this one is negative, is going to face down. Negative